It's been about a week since I've made the last video, so this video is for Thursday, February 2nd. That day was all about electricity. I had a lecture and lab for PAE. It wasn't too bad. It was an alright day. I've got my notes here for the lecture. So let's see. The second lecture for PAE was all about power production and delivery. Basically, the first bullet point is North American power is 120 volts RMS at 60 hertz. We kind of talked about the history behind that and why that is, and we discussed generators and how those work. Magnetic induction, by the way, is a secret behind it, you know. And that is described by Lenz's law. We checked out tons of different types of power sources, like your coal plants, your hydroelectric plants, geothermal. What else? Wind turbines, solar power. Oh, there was another one. I can't remember what it is. A nuclear, of course. How could I forget that? And actually, the homework made us list a whole bunch of them. I don't know where I put it. Somewhere over here. But yeah, the homework that we got after that, we had to list. So yeah, we went over coal, hydroelectric, nuclear, wind, solar, geothermal, and solar thermal. As far as the different types, and we checked out pictures of them and where they'd be found and everything. And we talked about the power lines and why the voltage has to be so high, and just to get it the long distances, because power lines are pretty long. A big topic of the day was single and three-phase power systems, and usually, at least in residential places like your house or whatever, that usually those are single-phase power. And business buildings like Full Sail uses the three-phase power system. Actually, I think most of the businesses use the three-phase Y or star configuration. I think that was it. But yeah, here's the pages. Here's one page from the notes that we took that day. Let's see that. And here's some more pages you can check out. So just different notes on all the stuff, fill in the blanks and whatnot. Nothing too crazy. The craziest part is that the material is not hard. It's just a lot of material. That's the hard thing. So the lecture that day wasn't too bad at all. And we also talked about service entrances, panel boards, and then grounding systems. So this here was the last page of the notes for that day. The bonding location, your what was it? The grounding conductors and grounding electrode. So yeah, it was all right. The lab was pretty cool. I've got my book right here, actually. PAE, the lab manual, and we did a lot for the first lab. There's only 4 labs for PAE. It's only 1 lab a week, and mine are on Thursdays. And so the first PAE lab, it was pretty cool. We did, like I said, lots of stuff. We'll kind of run through this. They gave us a box full of stuff for the kits, and we had to draw the neodymium, however you say it, started with an N, magnet, the magnetic flux lines there. We had to create an electromagnetic field and circuit and everything. So we took a wire and wrapped it around a nail and then held a battery to the end of it, and we had to pick up paper clips with that. So that was pretty cool. Also, with the small magnet that we had, it was really a really powerful magnet, and we had compasses, and it was really cool because what you could do is run the magnet over the compass, and it would reverse the compass's polarity. That was cool. And what else? What else did we do with the compass? We did lots of stuff with compasses. But I thought the reverse polarity was probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And we had to draw more stuff and fill in some things. We also made what's it called? A homopolar motor is what it was. So we took this little red thing, and actually I've got the stuff of it. So give me 1 second so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Alright, so we had to take this wire and make a little coil like this. You see that? And then it's like coated with some type of coating. We had to strip off the coating. But basically, we did a lot with this little wire. First off, we took a battery and held paper clips on the end of the battery, and then hung this in the hooks of the paper clip. So it was kind of like that. It was sitting in between. And then you had to lower it down to the magnet and then kind of give it a push start, and it would actually spin. And that was pretty cool. I've got to admit, it was pretty sweet. And actually, I think I took a little video of it with my phone, and I may or may not edit that in, but we'll see. But it was still pretty cool. So that I got this thing to spin. And actually, I don't think I'll edit that video in, because of course, whenever I tried to video it, it wouldn't go. And then when I wasn't videoing, it went like crazy. So that was one really cool thing. What else? Let's see. We did so much. Oh, we made a speaker with a plastic cup, the magnet, and this thing. So basically, I had to tape this down to the bottom, I guess the bottom of the cup, and then we put we had a cable. It was an 1/8 inch stereo phone jack, and it had gator clips, 2 gator clips at the end. So this was taped on top of the cup with the gator clips attached to the sides, and then basically they said, you know, plug your phone in, or your iPod, or whatever you have, and then hold the magnet on top of this, and then you can hold it up to your ear, and it's a speaker, and it worked. So the kid that was sitting next to me, of course, was blasting like some fat beats, and I was blasting the Mars Volta, of course. What do you expect? And it was just nice. And the picture that I guess that they showed us, it looked kind of like that, basically. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's a plastic cup with the little red wire on top, and you had to hold the magnet. But it was the coolest thing ever. I mean, I remember watching some video on YouTube where this guy used like 4 plastic cups and put tons of cables and wires into it, and it was a crappy speaker. And this was a crappy speaker too, but it was so simple. It's so simple to make a speaker. I mean, it was unbelievable. And we also had to use the O-scope with testing some stuff. Like I plugged in, I had my phone, and I only have the Mars Volta on there, so I couldn't listen to anything else. So I had the Mars Volta going out, and I had the gator clips from the O-scope attached to the gator clips on the end of the 1/8 inch stereo jack or stereo plug. And so I was looking at the waveforms in the O-scope, and that was pretty cool. And I don't know, it was just it was a really cool lab. And actually, yeah, we did a lot of stuff. Like it was the first like 20 pages of the lab manual. But I really enjoyed last Thursday, the first PAE lab, and all that. And then we got homework for the next lab. So there's actually 2 homeworks. The first one, I do believe, is this one. And this is due at my next PAE lab. And so this is the homework here. I had to fill out the sheet. And it had a couple pages. It wasn't too bad. I've actually got a couple more questions I need to finish up. Yeah, that's kind of what the homework looks like. Well, that is what the homework looks like, because this is the homework. And then we got another homework, which I'll discuss in one of the following videos. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. That was the first like really long day of PAE, Principles and Applications of Electricity. It wasn't bad at all. I had a lot of fun in lab. So the next video is going to be a little bit of a short one, because it was just a lab that day. So I will see you in the next video. It's not going to be as long, but it does deserve its own video. So I'll see you then.